2020 is a critical election year for the party.
Freedom is never more than one generation away from extinction.
America will never be a socialist country.
The only way they can inherit the freedom we have known is if we fight for it and then hand it to them with the well-taught lessons of how they in their lifetime must do the same.
We are born free and we will stay free.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us in our very first episode of 20 for 20, a political podcast that's not really about politics. I'm Matt Whitlock, and this is Kevin McLaughlin.
Thank you, Matt. The purpose of this podcast is to help you get to know our members beyond politics. We're going to have members of the Republican Senate caucus come on, and they're not going to talk about anything that has to do with legislating, has to do with cloture, or any of that stuff. They're going to talk about Star Wars. They're going to talk about Taco Bell. They're going to talk about baseball. They talk about rap. Whatever it is that they like to do outside of this place, that's the purpose of this podcast.
We're excited because if you want to hear them talk about politics, bills they're introducing, things like that, there's plenty of places for you to go on TV, C-SPAN, elsewhere. We want to show you something different. We're going to have new episodes every Tuesday, starting this week with Chairman Todd Young, who'll be joining us soon, who we'll get to in just a second, followed by Leader McConnell, who we're excited to talk about everything from Louisville sports to his favorite sandwiches.
Cocaine Mitch, Corey Gardner talking about Star Wars, like I said. We touch on anything. We talk about, what's the one where they kill people?
Game of Thrones.
There it is.
We
right
dive
there.
into Game of Thrones.
We talk about that because we're hip cats.
This is going to be a lot of fun. Joining us today for our very first podcast is our chairman, Todd Young, the senior senator from Indiana, a Hoosier. And if you have a second, look up the origin of the word Hoosier. It just means a person from Indiana. And we've got a lot of fun things to talk to him about.
First elected in 2016, beat Evan Bayh, a scion of a political dynasty in Hoosierville. All around great guy, went to the Naval Academy, loves soccer. We'll talk about all that.
It's going to be a lot of fun. Joining us for our first episode of the 20 for 20 NRSC podcast is the chairman of the NRSC, Mr. Todd Young. Thank you for being with us.
Matt, great to be with you.
Really
yes,
an
Kevin.
honor. Thank you, sir.
It's always fun.
This
great
is
to work
a lot
together.
of fun.
This is a lot of fun. Yeah.
So as we have sort of described in our intro, the purpose of this is to get to know you and your Senate colleagues in kind of a different way. People turn on CNN, C-SPAN, and see you guys giving speeches, introducing bills, but don't get to know very much about the real you, which is why we're thrilled to have you with us today to talk a little bit about your life, where you came from.
So your supposition is there's some more depth to my life than that, right?
The people might not believe it yet,
Yeah,
but we'll
okay.
get there.
Yeah.
We also appreciate you being our guinea pig.
Yeah,
we don't know what we're
hey,
doing.
Yeah, happy to.
This is going to be a lot of fun. But we'd love to begin with just about your family. Let's pretend it's Saturday night in Greenwood, Indiana, and you happen to find yourself with that rare bit of free time. What are you and the family doing?
Usually we're watching a movie or maybe a series. We just finished up Game of Thrones. I think like the other half of America, so that was fun. Occasionally we like to watch old sort of funny sitcoms too.
Okay.
What
did you?
The other day I watched Cheers.
Oh.
On a couple of episodes of Cheers with my son.
That's very fun.
So caught that on Netflix. But we like to tune out a little bit.
Yeah. Can we ask what you thought of the ending of Game of Thrones, just in brief? Controversial.
I haven't seen it, so don't
I'm
spoil
going to
it.
show my contrarian. Yeah, that's right. I'm not going to spoil it. But there were some criticisms that it wasn't powerful enough, that it was the wrong ending, and I don't know. I mean, I thought they did a decent job. So,
Okay.
I mean, how do I speak vaguely about
That's a very
it
good
without-
spoiler.
You can speak directly. I'm never going to watch it.
Yeah, okay. All right, yeah.
Dragons scare me.
So I thought it was clever how they gave Sansa power over her own little domain.
Yeah.
And how she held out. She held out. She knew she had some bargaining power there. So she was able to get power over her kingdom, and some other people got things they wanted. So I like that part of it. The supernatural aspect of Game of Thrones, I was a little less enamored by it, but the politics, the politics were
Very
pretty
interesting.
Yeah, it was very interesting.
And I do think that's one positive thing you can say about the ending there is they found a way to compromise a lot of different people's interests, whether that's positive or negative.
Yeah. So I didn't quite get the bipartisanship theme out of Game of Thrones, but nonetheless, they did. They were able to finesse that somehow.
Absolutely.
You're right.
As a guy who does campaigns for a living, I only watched one episode. And I can tell you that the first episode when they cut that guy's head off and they used it as a teachable moment, I was like, politics have come a long way. We're much more civil than people think we are.
Yeah, look at that.
Nice
Look at
deal.
that.
We're good people.
Not so bad.
I've
what's
been
going
in
on
a couple
over
of
there.
races like that.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah.
Yeah,
Thanksgiving's
there you go.
around the corner. What are the Young family doing? The McLaughlin's. My mom's a Kugler. We do Kugler Bowl, and we play football in the snow and ice in Minnesota on Thanksgiving.
Of course you do, because
Yeah.
you're tough and
We're
you're
hardy-
from Minnesota.
hardy
yeah,
stock.
Yeah, you're hardy folks. Well, I have not one but 2 Thanksgivings that
Okay.
we do every Thanksgiving.
man.
We put a lot of miles on the road. So we pack all the kiddos in the car, Jenny and I, and we travel down to Paoli, which is a small town where she grew up in southern Indiana. We have a full array of great Thanksgiving food that her mom prepares and hang out with her family. And then we, 2 hours later, 2.5 hours later, just as you're trying to recover from, from all of that, we head north to the Indianapolis area where my parents live, and we do the same thing. So we catch like the football games that we're missing. We try and tune in on the radio on the way.
Right.
And, I love the holiday. I think it's just fantastic because it's not about gifts. It's just about family and getting together and sharing some laughs and watching some football usually.
Absolutely.
And it's a lot of fun.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
In preparing for these, we talked to friends, family, former staffers to find some interesting nuggets about the Senators. And one thing we found about you that we thought was really interesting is that you love Taco Bell. I think that
I
is
do.
interesting for people to find out.
Yeah.
What's
You
your,
have any?
what's your Taco Bell order?
Yeah, so I'm a traditionalist.
Okay.
Right? Yeah. I usually order off, I guess it's not a dollar menu now, but the value menu.
That's a good menu.
So bean burritos,
Okay.
steak tacos,
Very nice.
and then the largest soda I can get, usually with a little Mountain Dew, or it's Diet Mountain Dew with a little bit of something else sweet on the top,
Okay,
like
like
lemonade.
some Baja Blast or
yeah,
something?
Yeah, exactly. So I've never. Remember they used to call them suicides.
Yeah,
when we were
you
kids.
mix them all
I think
together.
that's not
a little
proper
dark. It's
these
a little
days.
dark.
Yeah,
Very-
I'm
yeah.
sorry. We'll edit that out.
Yeah, exactly. I used to call them bleep. Yeah. What did he say? That must have been horrible. So no, I've actually passed in staying with the value menu. I have racked up over a $20 bill at the end
At
of
Taco
a long,
Bell?
at
Wow.
the long end of a
That's quite a
campaign
feat.
day. Yeah,
Wow.
exactly. So I can really throw that stuff down.
Have
So
you-
delicious.
It is.
And it's amazing that there's only like 5 or 6 ingredients they have.
It's pretty
Everything
simple.
tastes
But
the same.
they just put them all together in a different like combination and permutation.
But what
and-
an innovation.
and Cook it slightly differently, and they have 543 different products with 6
do.
ingredients. It's
Have you
amazing.
tried some
Yeah.
of their crazier items, like the quesarito, the burrito wrapped in a quesadilla?
Yeah, those are a little exotic for me. So oftentimes, the young staff I'm a conservative.
Yeah,
right? I
absolutely.
just stick with
You can't
the
get too
main
far out
stuff.
Yeah.
Stick to what is comfortable, and then every now and then I'll incrementally ask for something different. I might feel crazy one day and change up the drink.
That is
or have
crazy.
some cinnamon crisp for
Yeah.
dessert. But
You're making me nervous.
But yeah, I know. We're conservatives, so.
I go soft shell tacos and hard shell tacos.
Can't beat it.
Yeah, I'm really
beat it.
traditional when I go to Taco Bell. I think
Not,
it's
even, not,
delicious.
even, not
Yeah.
even a Doritos Locos Taco
I'll do
guy.
I'll do soft shell supremes.
Okay.
And then just straight hard shells.
Sometimes I forget they even have hard shells.
Oh,
That's
they're
great,
good.
though.
It's very crunchy. It's,
You can
as
keep
a
them
hard
together.
shell
Yeah.
known to
Yeah.
be.
If you can keep them together, that's
We're going to have millions of viewers.
This is amazing.
I mean, this is
Everyone likes
hard
tacos.
shell
Okay, yeah,
tacos.
right.
Taco Bell is it.
Does your wife enjoy Taco Bell with you? Is this something you have to do on your own?
No, she has more refined taste
Yes.
than I do. I mean, yeah, this is something I do by
More with
myself.
Chipotle type.
No, she holds out for. She eats pretty good food.
Yeah.
She keeps me on the straight and narrow. She makes sure I eat healthy, but when she's not around, that's when I indulge.
When you guys spend a lot of time on the road where you got 10, 15 minutes to grab whatever you can before the next event. So I think it's tough to blame you for becoming enamored with
You
Taco
don't have to
Bell.
justify it. I mean, he's fine. He's a grown
Yeah,
man. He
yeah,
can
you
have
do
Taco
what you
Bell.
want.
Yeah.
And constituents love to see me in Taco Bell.
Really?
Oh yeah, they do.
Yeah.
He's
They
just
do.
like us, eating Taco Bell.
Yeah,
Did you say
they
hi to
do a
people
double
on, like,
take,
Hillary?
You look like,
Yeah.
I get that a lot in Taco Bell.
You look like that's fantastic.
To totally like go a different direction, because I feel like that's an unhealthy part.
Yeah.
You are a big athlete, or you want to be.
That's all right. You can call me a big athlete.
You played soccer in high school and college, right? You're a
Yes,
big
I
soccer
did.
guy.
Yeah.
Soccer's your sport.
So soccer was like my passion growing
Yeah.
up. I spent all my time playing soccer.
Yeah.
We had Damon Bailey in basketball. You may remember the name. He was
Yeah.
a legendary high school basketball player in the state of Indiana.
Yeah.
He spent every waking hour practicing his shot. And I probably spent nearly as much time as Damon Bailey. Never got up into the firmament of soccer greatness, but look, I was pretty good. It helped me get into the Naval Academy.
And you
We
led
won.
it at the
We won a
Naval
state
Academy.
championship.
That's
Yeah,
right.
so
That's
I'm
right.
still
Your
pretty
high
proud of that.
school, you
Yeah.
were inducted into the High School Hall of Fame for,
That's research.
among other things.
That's research.
That is
being a decorated. I mean, I think they
good
probably
research.
like you for being a senator a little bit, but also being a high school soccer champion. That's the real money, right
So
there.
look, my dream when I was a kiddo. This is back before there were many. It sounds like I'm making excuses. Back before there were many Americans that actually did play soccer
Sure.
overseas. Not that I would have been that good, but it was to do that. There were a few.
Awesome.
And I was good enough, like I said, to get into college. But then I sort of flamed out and played D1 ball there, and I was never heard from again. But this is I jokingly say a fallback position. Being a U.S. senator,
Sure,
I
yeah.
love being a U.S.
Yes.
senator. I'm
If
very
soccer didn't
proud to
work
have
out,
it. But
your
if
plan
soccer
B?
had worked out,
Plan
I
B.
would not be here. I mean, yeah, exactly.
Well, America's better off for you failing at soccer.
absolutely,
We
Well, thank
appreciate
you.
it.
I
Yes,
appreciate
thank you.
that.
absolutely
Yeah.
true of all of us.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, now I live vicariously through my 9-year-old daughter.
Oh, great.
Who is
She a soccer player?
She is passionate about her soccer. She plays all the time, and I practice with her whenever I can. So
That's
it's
fantastic.
it's an awesome sport, kind of a blue state sport, I think most people would say, but nonetheless, it's the world's most popular game.
Yeah.
On that Naval Academy topic, you have spoken in a number of different settings about how valuable it was for you to have the experience of getting rejected the first time you applied for the Naval Academy. Tell us a little bit about that and what it's kind of just meant in your experience overcoming things.
Yeah, it actually the more you fall short and then are able to get up and sort of dust off your trousers and try again and then ultimately succeed, it actually builds your confidence.
Absolutely.
Like, because each of us is going to fail in certain things. Some of us fail on a daily basis, to accomplish, whatever tasks that we're trying to accomplish. So, but I have developed a measure of confidence over the years that, first failing to get into the Naval Academy and then a number of successive failures academically there, I end up doing pretty well in school. I've fallen short in a lot of areas of my life, and I like to tell young people that I talk to in particular, don't get discouraged. But the most important quality they can cultivate is grit, is perseverance, is just working hard. It's like the stuff that our parents taught us growing up. Dream big, work hard, and good things will happen. And so, I mean, I really internalized that because I've had some failures along the way.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
What a valuable experience.
Yeah.
What's the worst job you had as a kid?
The worst job I had as a kid was my dad worked in this office building, and I was janitor during late grade school to junior high school, all through high school. And I'd clean toilets and I'd clean the dishes. And back then you had ashtrays and everyone was
Yes.
smoking. And there may be people watching here or listening that have this job. I have great respect for people who do that.
tough.
But it was tough.
Yeah.
Man, it really gave you respect for people who work with their hands and have dirty jobs.
Yeah.
And jobs that not everyone appreciates.
Absolutely.
Like, I totally appreciate
Yes.
a job like that well done.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Because I cut a lot of corners as a kiddo, right?
Absolutely.
And Dad always caught them.
Yeah.
But so that was I guess a good experience. Didn't
Yeah.
feel like one to me at the time, and I do think it helps me like appreciate those around me.
Absolutely.
Whatever they're doing, as long as they're trying to do it well, as long as they're really putting their heart and soul into it, that's really cool. There's something
Absolutely.
like very motivating about that.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
One thing that we heard from a former staffer about you that I thought was funny is you're a big P90X guy, but here in the Senate gym, they were not equipped with, a second
my
TV,
goodness.
things like
Yeah.
that. So you had to kind of have a tussle with another senator for that. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Well, they're absolutely not equipped. I mean, you think of the Senate gym and you're like, oh, these guys are living high in the hog. No, you go in there and there's like 60, 80-year-old material. You know those old belts, those white belts you put on and like shake the fat off? They have those. They have those. They have the little wooden dumbbells where you go like this and medicine balls. You know, you back and forth.
Nice.
But
No wonder you're so fit.
yeah, exactly. So yeah, there's a high-ranking Democratic senator who uses the gym every day and has strong opinions about watching MSNBC every morning. And I wanted to watch P90X, but you know. You got to choose your battles around here.
Absolutely.
I thought it'd be good to maintain a positive relationship with them, so I just chose a different TV.
Oh, nice.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Nice.
so that was
worked
pretty,
out well.
Yeah, it doesn't always work that well here in Washington, but yeah, that was a happy ending.
Yeah. It's money, but you talked about a little bit about your wife, Jenny, before. How'd you guys meet?
So I met Jenny, it was right around Halloween time, and it's, you know, right as we taped this a few days after Halloween. Yep. So it was when I was in law school. I went back to law school after moving back to Indiana after the Marine Corps and so forth. She was already a practicing attorney, and we had a mutual friend who I was going to law school at night at the time. She said, you know, you ought to meet my friend. She's a practicing attorney. She's not seeing anyone right now, and she's about your age, meaning I was old for the group, right? Yeah. And so we hit it off immediately. We decided to get a drink, which is always a safe first date because you can disengage after 30 minutes if the thing's going really south. But we ended up having a drink and then having dinner and then seeing each other again, and that's how it all started.
That's great.
Yeah.
It's a little law school romantic story.
Yeah, it
nice.
just kind of snuck up on me.
The law
You're
is
not even looking for it.
Yeah, the law is very romantic.
Very
You say it all the
romantic.
time. Whitlock does.
Yeah, I'm also married to a lawyer, so I get
Oh, really?
I get that.
Yeah.
We're being sarcastic, of course.
Yeah. Yeah.
Can you tell us a little bit more just
I don't know
about?
what to do with that. The law is not romantic.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
It's not. But
Yeah.
tell us more about your kids. What did you guys? What did they do for Halloween? Did they have costumes? Tell us about that.
Yeah, so I've got a 13-year-old, a 12-year-old, and twins who are 9, 3 girls and 1 boy, boy-girl twins, and they're awesome. I mean, they are the most special thing to me in the whole world, and Halloween is always a fun time. Halloween's a great family time for us. We love to hop together in the car. There's not always snow in the ground, but Kevin is a Minnesota guy. You will be proud of us. My kiddos, they went out there and they braved the cold.
You had snow this year.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know. Yeah.
And we had half the kids that were actually trick-or-treating, but those who did trick-or-treat got double the candy.
Nice.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So
That's
my
a
kids
good
were
haul.
like, swing. So,
a good haul.
but they dressed. One was a cat witch. Meaning she
Okay.
wasn't sure what costume she wanted,
Right.
and it was sort of an impulse buy. It was a
Absolutely.
witch. There was also a cat, so it didn't make complete sense to me. The other one was a buccaneer. My son was an athlete, and my oldest daughter, she actually broke off this year. She's
Okay.
13. She's
Did her
starting
own
to,
thing.
yeah, she's starting to fly out of the nest,
Yeah.
you know.
Wants to go at her own
So she
pace
went
for
trick or treating
trick-or-treating.
with her friend group, and they had a good, safe time.
Did you
blessedly.
dress up?
I did dress up.
Oh!
Yes, yeah.
I did not know that.
You need to
I wouldn't have
visit.
taken
You
that
need to
point.
visit my official social media page at young.senate.gov, and you too can see on Facebook that I dressed up as Bob Ross. You know, Bob
Oh, yeah,
Ross?
absolutely.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, so most
That's-
people don't know, and I
Yes.
should have put this on social media. Bob Ross is his studios in Muncie, Indiana.
Oh, I didn't know it.
Muncie,
And so
Indiana.
I went out and helped my kids get their Halloween costumes, and I saw a Bob Ross costume, and I'm like,
That's
I don't
awesome.
normally dress up,
That's
but
awesome.
so
That's
okay,
fantastic.
That is
yeah, we got a picture right here.
Here's a picture right
I
there.
don't know
Put
if
this
you
on
can
the
zoom
screen.
in, but
Yeah.
I would
We'll have to put this
encourage
on
you.
the screen.
young.senate.gov.
That is
All right,
very that is very handsome.
Yeah.
That is well done.
Yeah.
It's
Well,
a great looking Bob Ross.
yeah, let's just say the official staff was shocked, and my chief of staff, who was not present, was even more shocked.
I
when
bet.
it was,
I
posted
bet.
online. But yeah, it's all fun.
I'm very impressed because I thought it was going to be like a no. It was going to be a flat no.
Yeah, so did I. That's what I was expecting.
Oh, I love how I'm I'm pretty silly at home.
Yeah.
You know?
Silly guy.
My kids will say, yeah, you don't act like a senator, Dad. And then they actually came and saw me at work one time. They're always surprised, like how serious I am.
Very serious.
Yeah.
Like, Dad,
Serious
why are you so
guy.
serious?
Well, on that sort of serious note, at the end of each of these interviews, we want to give at least 2 minutes or so to hear kind of the political update because, you know, even if we'd love to just talk about fun things, we are here to
Yes.
keep the majority and to fight for Senate seats. So what can you tell us about your outlook in 2020 so far?
Yeah, look, as I talk to people, not just in the state of Indiana, but in this capacity as chairman of the senatorial committee, and I go around, people understand the gravity of this coming election. They understand that there is a variant of socialism in the United States of America today that's being put forward by the National Democratic Party. And there is a real risk that if we don't retain the Senate majority, that agenda is going to get some real traction. And we're talking about, you know, if you like your car, you can't drive your car. Green New Deal. We're talking about if you like your job, you may not have your job. You name the list of policies. You like your on-the-job insurance, you're not going to have your on-the-job insurance. You like red meat, you can no longer eat red meat. You can no longer order those steak soft tacos at Taco Bell. That'll get them out. But no, there are threshold moments or fulcrum moments in our nation's political history, and this happens to be one of them. And I think all of us, being part of this team at the senatorial committee, feel the weight of responsibility. And blessedly, there's so many great Americans out there that are helping us at this moment to make sure the Republicans do keep control. That we continue to steer this country in the right direction. And so I guess, you know, my sort of closing flourish here is just one of encouragement. Be encouraged. We're going to get this thing done because we have to get it done. And I believe in the American people. We always seem to step up when it matters most. And this is one of those moments. And so I'm looking forward to the coming fight. Yeah.
Mr. Chairman,
Yeah.
it's a great place to stop. We appreciate you being the guinea pig, the inaugural 20 for 20 guest on the NRSC
guys are
podcast.
great.
We're looking forward to victory in November. We're almost a year out. So
About a year out, yeah.
here we go.
Yeah. Let's do it.
Let's go
About
play
a
some
year
ping
out.
pong. All right.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very
Thank you.
much.
Thanks for tuning in this week. We loved having you join us for inaugural 20 for 20. Make sure you join us next Tuesday when the Majority Leader, Mitch McConnell, will be with us. Talk about all things Cocaine Mitch, all things Kentucky, and all things Senate Majority. So next week on 20 for 20.